Vegas is loud with bright lights. How do you find healing in a city that don't even leave room for you to breathe? Welcome to Vegas Unmuted. I'm Shaquila Cahoon, your host and author of the upcoming book, The Root on the Rise, Winning from the Ground Up. This podcast is all about the successes, the stories, and the struggles of what makes Vegas more than just bright lights. So let's turn you up. Today, I'm sitting down with Danii, who is a licensed therapist, a R&B artist, and also a sound healer. And she has found a way to combine all three. So I'm super excited to hear from her. Danii, welcome to Vegas Unmuted.
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
Yes, and I'm happy to have you. Like normally when I start off these things, I know a little bit about the history, but I like to give the audience an opportunity to hear your story or to hear how you even got to Vegas. Were you born and raised here? Like, how did that journey start? And then we just kind of go into the thick of things.
Okay. No, I was not born in Vegas. So I've been in Vegas for
It's okay.
That's good?
Yeah, that's
okay,
good.
Sorry. I've been in Vegas for like 2 years.
Okay.
April will be 2 years. I was born and raised in California. I've lived in different states and cities, even Florida once.
Oh, wow.
I know you say you're from, you're from Jamaica, but you lived in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I got here. And I've been here 2 years, and my family moved from California here. My mother's here, so that's kind of what brought me back this way, be closer to my family.
So you were born in California. Okay.
Yeah, that was a little all over the place.
Okay.
Born in Cali, raised there, left for school, left to kind of wander off, see different places, meet different people, and then I came back because I miss my family.
Yeah, that the family structure, I get it because I left home too in Jamaica,
Yeah.
and now I'm here. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I miss my dad, I miss my brothers, and so I get that. Okay, so you went on a little venture. You're like, let me go see the place, see different cities. And then you got to Vegas 2 years ago, or you decided to settle in Vegas 2 years ago.
Yes. I don't know if this is my final place,
Yeah.
but yeah, about 2 years ago.
It's never
Yeah.
really final when you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're always just exploring, trying to find, what's the next thing or wherever life takes us, kind of sort of,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So tell us about Danii, like the backstory. Now we know, okay, you traveled around different cities. You went to Vegas, not Vegas, but Florida, well, you're born in Cali. Who is Danii as far as, not out, even maybe outside of the artist, outside of the therapist, who is Danii?
I love that question because, like, I think we all get caught up in labels, and it's like, no, but like, who are you?
Yes.
Like, those are things you do,
Yes.
But Danii is someone who's a free-flowing spirit, like someone who just embodies love, embodies light, and yeah, I just have optimism about life, and I think that's Danii. I don't know any other words.
I love that answer because you know what? I don't know if this would relate to you, but I like to give this analogy where life is like this big, beautiful restaurant with so much good food, and you just want to like, let me taste that. Like you go to a restaurant, you get one little appetizer. It's like, no,
yeah,
like
I need a sampler.
yeah,
girl.
like let me, you know what I mean? Because then you really get to experience life. So that answer is just like, whoa, like I feel that.
I love that.
And energetically and soul, and you know what I mean? It goes into kind of like part of what you do too now.
Yeah.
Because you have to have like a certain energy and soul about you to be able to do the things that you're actively doing too.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So now I'm giving us the timeline, right? So that's who Danii is. Yes. When you got to Vegas, because I did see that you've been doing music since 2016. Mm-hmm. So when you got to Vegas, were you still doing music, or were you like, this is my career, I'm focusing on this? Or when did the two kind of combine to where you're like, I found a way to merge the two as it relates to helping with mental, wellness?
Yeah, I think when I came to Vegas, I was doing the music. The music kind of has always been off and on, so to speak, just because of like me moving, being in school, studying, starting like, my therapy career. So I've been having to balance the two. I think when I got to Vegas, I finally was like, I had my big girl job, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, more of the things that I wanted. I was like more stable. I was done with you know, school and everything.
Yeah.
So the sound healing I just stumbled upon. I mean, I stumbled. Obviously, it was divine, but like I was already doing my therapy. I was already doing my music, and I was looking for new ways to heal because I was suffering with anxiety. I don't like saying suffering, but I was battling anxiety. So I was looking for new ways to heal because while medication is good for some people, like I wanted to like exhaust every option. But I had to be honest with myself that I was anxious, like every day, like all the time. And it was like super draining for me. And yeah, I went to my first sound bath out here, and basically from there, I loved it.
Wait, you got to tell us what that is. Because girl, sound bath.
Oh, sound bath. So sound bath, it just, in simple terms, it involves playing different instruments, it's like meditation. So I play like 7 crystal bowls. It gets into like your chakras, like they're aligned with your energy centers. It's, you know, not necessarily like a religion, but, you know, kind of like some beliefs. It's just more spiritual.
The spiritual side, yeah.
Yeah, whatever you believe, whatever connects to you. But sound bath is, you're bathing in frequencies of sound. It helps to reduce stress. It helps for you to be able to process like your emotions. It puts you in a meditative state. You can get in tune with yourself, maybe get some answers you've been looking for, really quiet your mind.
Yeah. When did you realize that the two could be combined? Like, even you went to the sound bath, which is the first experience. Mm-hmm. And I think I kind of throw you off a little bit because you were saying something after the sound bath.
You're good, girl. I'm chatty. I will keep going.
Okay. So the sound bath kind of brought you to that, you know, you're in Vegas now. You went to the sound bath and then go from there because you were going to say something, I think, and I cut you off.
Oh, yeah, you're good. Thank you for remembering.
Yeah,
I was going, where were we? But I went to the sound bath, and the woman there who was
doing the
conducting the sound bath, I connected with her, and she was also like I was a licensed therapist back like then, and she was studying to be one, and she was a sound healer, and like I wanted to be a sound healer, and then I ended up kind of just she kind of ended up mentoring me, and yeah, like she taught me, and during that process, I found that like I was able to relieve a lot of the anxiety and like the pressure that I was feeling. And also, obviously, Jhené Aiko is a big musical influence for me. So I think she's the one where I was like, oh, like, this is possible, if that makes sense.
So
like,
she does that? She does like some, she does?
Yeah,
okay.
She plays bowls and she sings with it. And she had put out, I think, her first like mantra, like sound healing mantra with like playing the bowls and singing for her on live streaming, I think like in 2019.
Right.
And she's like a big musical influence for me. So I think obviously she's not the first person to have done it, but like, you know,
she inspired
influence.
You.
It was like, oh, this is possible. And I have both of these things. So
that's what like sparked the idea, like I can combine them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to go back a little bit more about, you know, feeling anxious, because it's something that we don't talk about enough to me, because I feel like we all face it, especially with social media being what it is. You know, you could be having a great day, you go scroll, I don't know, you feel anxious now, you're behind in life, things are happening, whatever, right? For you, has it always been where you battle with, you know, anxiety, or was there an onset? Did something happen? What was that like?
That's a good question. That onset
girl,
word.
You know, because onset
terminology.
Yeah, girl, you know, my little bachelor's in psychology.
Yeah. No, for real. I think it happened around grad school. That's when I noticed, I think, around COVID, around grad school. I'm not going to say COVID brought it on, but I think that's when I noticed, when I started, like, maybe pursuing more things, finding myself stretched in different areas.
Right.
Certain relationships I was engaging in. I think that's when it started. And then I think probably since moving to Vegas, not saying Vegas is the cause, absolutely not.
It's Vegas. I'm just kidding.
I've had a beautiful experience here.
Yeah?
Believe it or not, yeah. And I did not want to be here. But
wow.
But yeah, that's kind of when it started, if that answers.
Yeah, it does. So it was, and sometimes maybe it could be a situation where whenever because I find when I was leaving the military, I've dealt with anxiety, but like when I was coming out, it's like, you don't know what you're going to do. You don't have this steadiness anymore. You have to find yourself. You're like, you starting this, you're doing this, you know, so it could probably even be where, you know, you're going to this in this new phase or stage of your life. And for me, I was just like, I don't know what I was going to do, you know? So I struggle with it too, to be open and transparent. So much so where, like you said, medication, it's like I came off of it for a while because I'm like, you know, it's just like, it's not good. I don't want to mess up my liver. Like you're thinking all these things, right? And then I tried the therapy option and that helps, right? But it takes time and you have to be willing and open to continuously do that work of like self-talk when it comes on. Because sometimes it's like, what's the point? There's so many things happening all at once and you're like, oh my God, you know? Absolutely. So I get it for sure. Okay, so now, sorry, girl, I'm just like,
no, you're good. I love the transparency.
Like, you know, we struggle, and I feel like we don't. Sometimes we don't want to share that because it's like maybe frowned upon, or maybe it's just like, you know, you want to put on a tough face. No, but I think we deal with things, and I think the more we can just be open that we all deal with them, even the richest of the richest, the biggest star, whatever, everyone, we're human, you know. So I appreciate your transparency and even sharing that, because some people, they don't want to talk about that, you know what I mean? But yeah, so now you experienced that sound bath. You realized that there was a way to connect the two, right? You also have a reason as to why you decided, because you had your own fair share of battle with anxiety, and you're like, this is a great, you know, thing to combine to help others, because that's one thing you said as well. Yeah. How is that going out here in Vegas now? Like, I know you have your business where it's a combination now, which I love. I love new, creative, authentic, meaningful things. You know, it's like, how powerful is that? You're an artist, you have a beautiful voice, and you're combining that to help. Because one thing you said is that healing, well, one, your music is not just for others, it's for you as well. And then you also said that healing, I don't want to misquote you, but something along the lines of, you know, music is healing, right? But now you found a way to kind of like combine the two, because I don't think people know the importance of frequency. Yeah. So I don't know if you, how deep you are with that, but can you tell us like, because even with rock music, or, you know, I've went down a little rabbit hole myself where I'm like, okay, that frequency is an absolute no, right? So tell us, and crazy enough, let me just say the small part. Frequency, vibration, all of that, it's even in like, that's why our mouth, like the words, the vibration, the things, right? So I don't know if you want to just dabble a little bit on that, like with the frequency, how does that help actually with the healing? Like, what have you found?
I'm gonna answer this how I interpreted the question.
Yes, girl, absolutely, because I know it was a lot.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Just piggybacking off what you said, like frequency is in everything. Like plants, trees, like all of these, they have their own, you know, wavelengths and things that we can't really see. Right? There's an energetic field, and you're saying how does that play into? Yeah,
because healing? I know like with the healing, you know, you're doing it with this, learning from this, or not learning, but going to the sound bath experience, and you're like, okay, I have a beautiful voice, which is soothing already, right? And then you're incorporating the sounds with all these different instruments to be on a certain frequency. I guess I'm trying to say, if you want to dive into that any way you feel, as far as how the frequency structure works, as far as, you know, what frequency is what, like certain different, you know what I mean? And then also maybe even share with us like how it's been with being in your, you know, with the new business that you have. Like.
Oh yeah. Okay. As far as the frequency, I'll just like touch on it. I think it just puts me in a meditative state. It puts others in a meditative state. So it's like when I'm playing for others, I'm also like in there singing, and I'm just like, ooh, like, you know. And then I think, that's pretty much what I'll say about that part, because that's all I can think of. I'm like blanking. Yeah. But as far as like how it's been like with my sound baths, because I just started doing, I took like a little hiatus in like winter time, but now I'm doing weekly baths, and like it's just really impactful. Like I just feel like I'm in a room, like, and my baths are typically like full, so we can get up to like 25, 26 people. And
that's big.
It is. I'm doing it with True Fusion. So of course they do a lot of the marketing and everything, which I feel grateful because being an independent artist, business owner, you're doing everything. You're wearing all the hats. So I feel grateful that I can host,
your baths there.
Yeah, my baths there, and it brings people in. But ultimately, like, sharing that interconnectedness, and then seeing people like wake up and be like, some go to sleep, some just lay there, and they just like thanking me, and I'm like, no, like, thank you, like,
impact.
Like, yeah,
wow,
it's so beautiful. You got to come to one.
Girl, as you're talking, I'm like, I must.
Yes,
I
every
absolutely
Sunday,
must.
every Sunday.
Yeah, that is something I have to try. I've never been to one. I've, like I said, gone down a little, finding info as far as the frequency, but never been to anything that I can say, wow. There's one time I listened to frequency to go to sleep because they say if you listen to this sound, those things on YouTube. And
That's actually where I started.
Yeah, and it actually felt good.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, imagine in person.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely have to try it. I definitely have to try it for sure. Okay, so now you have that, and I wanted to go back to what you said about being a business owner out here in Vegas, right? And this, by the way, combination just kind of happened. You're a therapist, you're an artist, and now you've incorporated sound baths into your artistry. It's powerful because it's not just music anymore, and that just goes to show too. It's like it's more or less for you. Correct me if I'm wrong. You just have more than just the money or just the fame of being an artist. Now you're like you said, people are waking up like, well, thank you, because this is big.
Yeah.
I love that. You know what I mean? So yeah. So now, how is the, not just the business aspect, but building in Vegas? Because you said it is hard when you're wearing so many hats, and I know because I'm a real estate agent. I'm a mom. I'm trying to do other things.
Yeah, mommy.
I got 2 boys, girl.
Oh my gosh, she's grown.
Yeah. Grown.
Okay.
Yes. So
right.
So for me, it's like, it's a lot. And then, I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. So I'm like, it's not just this one thing or all the other things. Of course, I'm doing this now. And for me, it was like the same thing. It's like a platform. It's like, let's hear from the people out here in Vegas.
Yeah.
How are they doing it? How are they making it? Is the city helping? Is there a culture here? What can we be doing more as a city to help one another? And then, from that angle, I'm like, to me, that's value, right? And I feel like what you're doing too is obviously value, because now people could feel that energetic change in frequency within themselves. Yeah. So anyways, I forgot my question.
I think you were saying, like, just what's the experience being like wearing all the hats and
yes,
and grow a business, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Because the girl just be yapping away.
No, it's okay, girl, because I would have forgot, but I remembered that time.
Okay, good. So yeah, what is it like?
I feel like when I talk about my experience with it, I don't know. I feel like sometimes it differs from like other people. I see a lot of people kind of, for lack of better word, not for lack of better words, complaining. They're complaining about like, oh, Vegas is this, or I can't find this or that. And I'm like, no, it's out there. Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Because I think I put like, in when I filled out the paper and everything, that Vegas wasn't like my first choice. I didn't really want to be here, but like for me personally, it has been beautiful. Like, it's been hard, of course, wearing the different hats. I'm the hair and makeup person. I'm the
which
and then
is bomb, by the way.
Hey. I'm the trying to shoot my content. And then I have to still perform, I'm doing my outfit.
Show up for your clients.
Yeah, still show up for my clients. Still, and that's a whole nother topic, right? Yeah. Protecting my energy and my space, and being able to use discernment and say no to certain things. But beyond that, once I came out here and met certain people and then started immersing myself in certain communities.
Right rooms.
Yeah, just like, not just because, but like, okay, I'm going to go to this. I'm going to go to this. Okay, I might have a friend to go with me this time. I might not have a friend that's going to be able to go with me the next time, or, whatever. I'm just going to do it. And I always kind of say stumbled upon, but like, it just like happened, like multiple communities that like support what I'm doing, that like, for real, like for free, like be like reposting.
Alignment, girl.
All of that. Yeah. So that's how it's been for me. And like, it hasn't been hard. And like, I'm dealing with some anxiety here and there from like personal things or from wearing so many hats and learning balance. Yes. But like in the same breath, like, yeah, there's so many people that support me here. So I'm very, very, very grateful.
Yeah, that's alignment for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, you have to put yourself out there and let God, because that's who I believe in,
No, amen.
do the rest. You know what I mean? And so that's essentially what you're doing, because what you said is correct. It's like there's a lot of complainers, but the first step to anything where it relates to change is to take accountability, because it's your life. And we're not always responsible for the things that happen to us, but we are definitely responsible for how we respond and what we choose to do after the fact. So I love that you said that. And you realize too that, don't you realize that people, when you do that, people are just like, oh yeah, like they gravitate towards it and you're shocked. Because that's how I felt. This was like in alignment too, right? Because I'm like, girl, when I, just to piggyback off that, it's like this whole studio. Girl, I've been at my brokerage, and when I had the thought for a podcast, I went and bought a speaker thing off Amazon, completely forgetting that there's a whole system here that I don't have to do anything but to book the room. And it's just like, whoa, like that's alignment. You know what I mean? And it's the same, kind of like the same.
Yeah, what I love about alignment is like, especially like when you're in tune with God and spiritually, it's just like, yes, life can be hard, but if you're just like in tune with yourself and God, like there's a way already like paved for you. Like there's confirmation like on that path as well for you. Like, so yeah.
You just got to be paying attention, I think.
Yeah.
And the more you pay attention, you'll notice the hand, like you'll see it like, oh yeah.
No, for sure. For sure. I can chills right now. I can talk about that forever.
Well, talk about it. Share. Do you have an experience where you're like, whoa? Because girl, testimonies are like my thing. I should write a book called Testimonies.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, did you all see that? And then the crazy thing is you kind of have to be embedded in the situation to see it. Yeah. Like, you know, my husband, like my cousin who was staying with me for a while, like they'll be like, did you see it? Like how it played out and stuff? And like, look at God. No, so I don't know. Do you have like something you wanted to share?
I mean, I would just say recently, and not recently, I always hear from God. And for me, when I say God, it's like not attached to like religion. I think like everybody has their own beliefs, and that's true for them.
Yes.
So I heard someone word it too, like it's like language. You know what I mean? That's what makes sense for them. That's what they
understand.
So God for me is, you know, in everything and everyone. But just receiving that confirmation, I think that's the most beautiful thing. Like, especially when you're like in praise or worship, or like when you're praying, when you're meditating, just receiving confirmation about certain things. And I think like the biggest thing for me is like I've been able to make really hard decisions and remove things and say no to things using my discernment, but like discernment that like God gave me. So
yeah, not off your own desires. Because sometimes we get tripped up, like that whole not every good thing is a God thing. Yeah. So it's important. And I love that you mentioned that, because that's what I feel like happened for me, the alignment, being connected. Because then I feel like I'm never going to be wrong, because even in being wrong, I'm right. Yeah. Because he's there guiding the way anyways.
Not gonna steer you wrong. Yeah. I'm like, if God, like the other day I solidified the decision, but I had to make a really hard decision. And I mean, it wasn't that hard this time. I've been here before. Of course, now I have more tools. But I literally heard God clear as day be like, it's not for you, boo. That right there, it's not for you. And it was so soft and gentle. And it was like, I'm like, but no, Danii, it's not for you. And I was like, okay, I can't try to rationalize with God. I'm going to find myself on a hamster wheel. You know what I'm saying? Girl, I don't want to be on no more of those. I don't know about y'all. I'm tired of the hamster wheel. So, I say that to say, like, it was just a beautiful moment. And, like, it makes it easier to process things. Like, God will not steer me wrong. So, and if this is what God's telling me, even though I want to be caught up in maybe still engaging in certain things or with certain people and situations for comfort, I know in the long run that I'm going to get through this, and there's intentionality with that. Yeah. There's alignment with that for me to be able to make hard decisions, so I can kind of like advance, right? Yeah. You know, can't be hung up on little things. I need to make these decisions for myself, move on, and do it with grace, a little bit of grace. So
yeah, that's exactly what it is, girl. And we have to learn to give ourselves that too. Sometimes that grace, like, okay, you know what? I know that this looks right, but it doesn't feel right. Or it's like, it could be a good decision, or it could be a good move, but you know it, that like, the beauty in it is that only you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nobody can come in and rationalize it. That's how powerful like that divine is. You know, it's like,
real.
who else can tell? Nobody but you.
Yeah.
So you have to get the answer. And that's the part where for me, I'm like, God, whew,
Yeah.
you know, because
love it.
you always get it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You get downloads from God all the time. And I feel like also like a big thing for me, like my body will tell me. Before like my brain can, my body would be like, oop, it's not right with anxiety or with sensations or that's a whole nother therapy thing, right?
Yeah.
I help people heal somatically. And so I've also learned to be in tune with myself and what's going on with my body. Like, ooh, something's on alert. Am I just triggered and I'm safe, or do I need to make a change here? So God, mind, soul, body, all the connection.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Girl.
And that's deep.
Girl.
And then the I keep saying the beauty in it because it's just so beautiful.
There's so much beauty in everything.
I know, but it's like what you just said when it comes to why did
somatic
I just lose
symptoms,
it? Yes,
feeling in your
that
body.
that like feel. Thank you, girl. I'm like, wait a minute, what's the word?
Yeah.
So yeah, like people, you know, that falls in alignment with reflecting, because a lot of times I feel like when you don't reflect, you can't change, therefore you can't grow, therefore you're remaining stagnant. And then we're like, why does it keep happening? It's always something, you know, those words, those vibrations, all of it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but you like stop yourself and be like, what's off?
Yeah, what's going on? Got to check in. I'm constantly checking in with myself. Danii, what's going on?
Yeah.
What we doing? Does this serve you? What's going on?
And that's in overall your life.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's different with your music or just a career path, or is it's just something you do in general, like your life?
I think I've learned to do it with everything, because I think I'm in such a sacred space where I think from here it's going to like escalate more in the best way.
Yeah.
And so that's why I am like allowing myself to just dive into those hard lessons and make those hard decisions. But I think in every area, I always check it. I'm super self-reflective, super self-aware, sometimes a lot of just honestly a little aware of everything sometimes. A little hyper vigilant sometimes, which is, you know, not the best, but all the time. But I do it with everything. I have to, because I'll get lost in the sauce. I'm very accommodating and loving. I'm very just intentional.
And you know what? With people like that, just like you explained, if you're not, you get taken advantage of.
Yep.
So I feel like that's good that you're in that space to now know yourself so much, to be in awareness of who you are, where you are, what's happening, because otherwise that's when all the things come and it's like, oh, that's a good thing. Let me jump on that. Oh, that's a good. And then you find yourself in a bubble of,
right.
You know what I mean?
Of just being like lost in the sauce.
Lost
and then
in
it's
the
like,
sauce.
How do I show up for my patients when I'm feeling like that? How do I show up for the people I'm curating sound baths for when I'm doing that? Or how do I show up for my career? How do I show up for myself if I'm feeling lost, if I'm letting things kind of take me on a tangent and I'm not checking in with myself and, letting things kind of pour over to me like you said, getting taken advantage of, stuff like that. So I'm way grown out of those days of like, I mean, still creating awareness around it, but like grown out of it, like in a way where like now, like I have the check-ins.
Yeah.
I can identify it. Ooh, like we not like, oh, that's not looking right. All right, boo, well, I'm gonna have to, I'll see you later. Like, you know, it's not looking right. It's not feeling right.
You remove yourself from the space.
Exactly. Boundaries.
Boundaries. That's a word.
I got a song called Boundaries.
Oh,
I've been
speaking
listening
of that,
to that one.
Okay, you know what I always do. I mean, I have to do this, but I mean, I'm gonna just turn it on for now. But we're not gonna get into it yet. But maybe Boundaries is one of the ones we play since we brought it up. You know what I mean? But yeah, I took some time too. Now that we kind of pivot a little bit,
we could have gone on and on.
I know,
because
that's such a beautiful topic.
Yeah.
But we pivoted a little bit, and I did last night. Was it last night or the night before? I was listening to a few of your songs, and girl, first of all, beautiful voice. Like,
thank you.
Wow. And then I'm like, oh my God, you know me, I get so like hyped. Can you see it? I was just like, oh my God.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I just love when I'm in the moment with someone that is on the verge. That is like, you're doing it. I think, you know what's crazy? Because I think people are like always so like, I'm ready to be at the top. It's like, where is the top? There is no top. Yeah. When you think about it.
Create you one, girl.
You're
already there.
You're already there because you're always like, you know what I mean? Life is not until you go. Like most people, why do you think the wealthy people still continue to do things? It's not because they need to, really. It's because we're human and we're kind of like designed to be striving and going and going. But anyways, my point to that is just to say, like, I just love when I'm around people that are in it, thick of it, doing it. You know what I mean? And I just get excited because I can just see like, whoa, you know what I mean? And yeah, so that's my whole little spiel with that.
I love that.
But we're going to get into, I don't know how to pronounce it. I want to say
Chrysalis.
Chrysalis.
Yes.
Oh, girl. Okay. So since we're here, Chrysalis, because I like that jam. I was like, okay. I was in, so tell us, Chrysalis, why that name, by the way?
I named my EP Chrysalis because chrysalis, there's like phases to getting to a butterfly.
Yeah.
So, you have like your caterpillar, and then I believe the phase between caterpillar and butterfly is like the caterpillar curls up on, I think it's like a tree or a branch. Yeah. It creates the chrysalis around it, and then it emerges to a butterfly. So, not that I'm not, I don't emulate butterfly energy, but I really felt like when I was writing these songs, because a lot of them I wrote like maybe even over a year before I even released a project, but it's so crazy how I still can relate to these songs in some way. So, but
because it's a part of your journey, it's a part of you.
Like it's still me. Like Boundaries is so crazy because it's like I wrote that song about a whole different, like my muse was a whole different person at a whole different era of my life.
Wow.
And listening to it, I was listening to it this week and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm relating to this again. But I'm still different, right? I made different decisions. But that's why it's called Chrysalis. I felt like, yes, I'm still a butterfly, but I was, when I, like in my early 20s, just like so much like learning and like, growing pains and like figuring it out. So
you were in that little phase.
Yeah.
You're about to submerge out of there, but you're in there. I like that. And that's deep. And I knew it meant something because you're just not the type of person to be like, let me just throw a name on there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know, because I was like, Chrysalis. I didn't even know how to pronounce it. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, wait,
Chrysalis. Okay. My friends were calling it Chrysalis. Now we have a little running joke. We were like, girl, Chrysalis. Like,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's beautiful. And it's so interesting how, like you said, it still relates years later, but in obviously different ways because you've grown and things like that. So since we're here, I don't know. I feel like we're going to do boundaries first because, we brought up boundaries and it's like, wait, we need boundaries in our life, in our career. People will take advantage.
Absolutely.
So let's pull up a Danii. Boundaries.
Hey.
You know what the thing is? Because I looked, is it easier if I go to your site, or is it going to connect?
You can. There's a player on my site, or you can go to wherever you play
I was
music.
doing it on Spotify.
Yeah, you could do whatever you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see, guys. You hear that? She's on Spotify. She has, we're going to talk about where they can find you later on. But see, look, you're in my search, just so you know.
Hey.
I was already like, okay, let me listen to this.
Yeah. Spotify, Apple Music, DaniiOfficial.com.
Girl, you are everywhere.
Girl,
wearing all these hats, doing it real good, because we would never known.
Thank you.
We would have never known. Okay. So the EP Chrysalis has boundaries, or that's another one?
No, it has boundaries on it.
Okay, let's see. No, that's not it. Hold on. All right, guys, give me a second because your girl.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on your site.
I was about to say, if it's easier.
Yeah.
DANII official.com.
Danii. All right, yeah, it's easier from your site. My gosh, you're doing a lot, girl. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I'll be trying. It feels better now. I've like opened up my work schedule to the point it's like more flexible. So now I'm at a point where I can put a lot more time and energy into like the things I want to do. So.
Right, and not just feel stuck or just repeat.
Yeah. At work, like at the desk, like, but I have stuff to work on for me.
Yeah.
So very grateful.
All right, guys.
You can play the whole thing.
We could play halfway. We could give them a taste, not the whole thing, because girl, they need to go stream.
Yeah, y'all gotta go stream.
All right.
I guess I convinced myself that I'm selfish. Selfish for needing to be alone. I guess I convinced myself that walking away, what if I walked away, is better than being vulnerable.
Wow. Well, it stopped on its own. But maybe it was telling me that's too much. They need to go stream.
Because the good part was coming.
No, I got to pop it back up. Why did it do that to me?
You were like, well.
Oh, you know what, guys? I'm on the website.
So it timed out.
Yeah, it timed out.
Ooh.
I was like, wait a minute. We was just getting into the groove of things. Why would it do that? All right, we're going to tap back in because the good part was coming, guys. All of it is good, but the part where she was about to pop off.
It was the way you stopped, too. You were like.
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, you saw my face?
Yeah. I was like, did she stop it? She had commentary?
I didn't stop it. I was like, I don't know how this happened. All right, here we go.
YouTube, too. YouTube might
it's on YouTube, too, guys.
Yeah,
okay. Let's try this again. I'm going to make sure I don't close my eyes so it don't time out.
Yeah, you was.
I was in it, girl. My eyes was closed.
This is a deep one. I have fast stuff, too.
I guess I convinced myself that I'm selfish. Selfish for needing to be alone. I guess I convinced myself that walking away, what if I walked away, is better than being vulnerable.
This song hits for me right now.
And I can't help that I'm overwhelmed, easily overstressed. I'm not over you, but I'm over this. What you done to me, what you done to me. What happened to boundaries? I never wanted to. Ooh. Boundaries, what you wanna do. And boundaries, I fell for you, I fell for you. You think you know me, but if you did, you know I'm overstimulated. Hard to process all these changes. And I can't help that I'm overwhelmed, easily overstressed. I'm not over you,
We got to pause it on them.
over this.
Listen. Oh, my gosh. Now, okay. Okay, wait a minute.
You got so many. That's okay. Process.
Girl. Okay, because I think I listened to the Home
Hold me or
Home and Hold Me, but I don't think I got into this one.
yeah, that's a deeper one. That's probably the deepest one.
Okay, so now you gotta tell us. Let me back up a little bit. So tell us what inspired Bound, because you said 2 years ago, or how long was?
Oh, right before I moved to Vegas, I wrote this.
So okay,
Literally that season where I was like, I'm about to move.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So that explains. Okay. So what was happening in your life at that point where you're like, wait a minute, boundaries, back up. You know who? I mean, was there somebody special? What was happening?
I was dating somebody back then, and that was pretty much like I was just really overwhelmed, and I was back then I think I was still in grad school training to be a therapist, but I had a therapist. And I remember she was like, you know why you feel like that? I was like, why? Because she used to do that. She used to know and have terminology and explanations for stuff when I tell her how I'm feeling. Yeah. I love her. Don't see her anymore. I have a new one, but because obviously I'm out of state. But she's like, you know why you feel like that? Girl, you ain't got no boundaries. And I was like, oh. And I was dealing with that person, and then he was just very comfortable. Great person, but I didn't know really. It's so crazy training to be a therapist, teaching people about boundaries. I have had the longest journey, still challenging but beautiful, with actually grasping the concept of boundaries.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because that word, that's why when you said it and then you're like the song, I'm like, okay, we have to play that one because it's a word that I struggled with too. Crazy enough, in the sense of, and it's not even just relationship that is, it's friends, it's parents, it's self with yourself.
situation.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I love that word because you know what? I had to do something hard too because I was always like, I didn't know how to say no for a while. Now, no.
And no explanation after either. That's the sentence.
Right. No. Girl, and it's a powerful thing. Mm-hmm. So I had a situation, and not to go deep, but just basically I had to say, I didn't even say, what's crazy? I didn't even say no. I was just like, those terms won't work.
Yeah. Period.
Imagine.
It doesn't work for me.
It don't work. Those terms don't work. But hey, we can do this. Mind you, when you're approaching someone and you're in that person's space or that person's in your space or whatever, you have a right to say, okay, this works or this doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I feel like people get so offended when you set that word in place. And it's like, I didn't even say no. I just said, it's like you want me to do something that's going to take 2 hours. And I'm like, I only have an hour and you're upset about it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So with that situation, I had to say, yeah, like 2 weeks now, but a week or whatever,
Yeah, like negotiate.
And it was such an offense. And I'm like,
well, that's telling too.
And that's, but that's exactly. And that's also, if she wasn't a therapist, she was a friend. Actually, she's in the therapist field. She's like going for social work, have her psychology, PhD, master's. And she said the same thing. She's like, you know why you feel like that?
You ain't got no
because you don't have no boundaries for that person. You're always saying yes. You're always doing, and I'm like, I was the same way. My reaction was
like, wait a minute. Oh,
that's true.
It's like,
girl, it was like a world. Yes, everything opened up because I'm like, dang, I really didn't have any.
Yeah, and that's okay. We just learn, we navigate it.
Yeah,
and I think the main thing that taught me boundaries was like being in positions where I'm like, I don't want to feel like this.
Yeah,
I don't like this feeling.
You feel powerless in a way.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like that person have so much hold over you that yourself takes a back seat.
Yeah, you can't be. That's a big word too. You can't be self-sacrificing, and sometimes stuff seems smaller than what it is, but it's not. So, yeah. Big on that.
Yeah,
big B's, big boundaries.
Big. Girl, don't let me go in the studio now. I'll do the rap side. Let's do a feature.
No,
hey,
for real.
You come in with boundaries and I'm like doing a rap. Girl, in my mind I could rap, but I know that's a lie.
We need a verse. Girl,
I don't know what verse to give you. If I give you a verse right now, it's gonna be some Jamaican verse. You're gonna be like, what is that?
I fuck with it.
Yeah. Okay, girl. We're gonna have to do that off camera, guys, because I have to prep.
Yeah. That's all right.
But yes, no, I love the meaning behind it. I love what it stands for. I love that you're able to obviously express yourself through your music, through it's art, and it's beautiful. And I feel like a lot of people relate to it more than even words. And I think that's one of the things you said too. I find myself, for me, music is therapy. It's soothing. For me, music makes me go to another place.
Yeah.
I'll be in the car listening to something and I'm in Europe. Yeah. Just with the music.
No, for real.
Girl, you know what I mean? So it's beautiful when you have obviously that talent, but then you're also combining it with the thing that you do to be more impactful for people. And I just love that. I wanted to, now that, because it's Vegas Unmuted, and obviously we're talking about your journey here. You got here, you're doing it out here now. And I know you said earlier that this is not going to be your last stop, which it shouldn't. I mean, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're talented. And it's like, of course, there's so much more world and things for you to do. You just never know. And as you continue to be in alignment with your soul and where you're being led, so much opportunities, so many things will happen. So I guess now I want to know, what can we expect from Danii? Like, what, do you have? I know I'm not a big on goals, to be honest. I mean, that's probably sounding crazy right now to a lot of people, but I mean, I guess they're there, but I also love to just let life and my divine and God and
flow. What's your sign?
I'm a Gemini.
Ooh, I love Gemini.
Wait, you do?
Contrary to, not popular opinion.
they be talking bad about us. I don't like that.
I love Gemini.
What's your sign?
I'm a Sag, girl.
Girl, I've been meeting
Yeah.
Girl, you lying.
Yeah, no, for real.
Okay, my friend Dakota, she was just on here. She was a Sag. She was a Sag. She is a Sag. And I'm like, lately,
How did she change? No.
I'm like, right? And I'm like, lately, I'm meeting so many like Sag. And my friends back home, I have one friend back home, Simone. Shout out, girl.
Hey, shout out
she's
to
a
Simone.
Sag, and I'm like, the Saggies and the Geminis,
Yeah.
we got a thing.
No, for real. I feel like I've in the past and now, like, I have like really good relationships with Gemini. Well, like really anyone. I think Sagittarius, we're just like,
yeah, that's what she
the
said
free-flowing,
earlier.
Like we can get along with anyone.
That's what she said. She was like, we don't have a problem with no one unless they got a problem with us.
Right. I mean, even if you do, like, you don't have to take that up
Right.
with the Lord and yourself, Bookie. I got boundaries. For real, I be in my own little world. Like, I don't got time.
Exactly. Nah, like, especially when you on that. What did you say? Grown woman ish earlier.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm
Grown
on
girl.
that. I got
Yes.
kids. I got things to do. I
All
got
type
money
of
to be
stuff.
made. I don't have time.
Exactly.
So I love that. But yeah, man. So
But we send you love, and grace.
go in peace.
Go in peace. Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness, no. So yeah, so what did I ask you? Because girl,
What's
obviously
next?
we be dipping in and out. I'm all over the place.
I
I'm like,
know.
wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, I did say what was next. For you, not just your career in music, or if it's that, like, what path do you think you'll separate them, or do you think it's gonna be this profound creative combination that you've already created, and just to like go bigger and deeper into that, or
Yeah, the last option. No,
Oh,
no, but yeah, I think that word is perfect. Like, just profound. Like, I think what's next for me, I like what you said. Like, I don't really like setting goals. It's like, yeah, we need goals, but like, I'm the same way. Like, I'm flowing, and like the flow is like flowing.
Yeah, I love it. It should
Gotta
flow.
snap on
wait,
that.
wait, snap. I can put that clip in there, but yes.
But I mean, what's next right now is to continue to grow this community that I've started really immersing myself in, the healing community out here with my sound, and then also like, yeah, I've been growing here in Vegas, but I think it's been a steady upward growth. So I haven't done the biggest things out here, but like,
You done
there's
some
like
big things, girl, because I saw that you were on I don't remember the name, and I don't want to
The news?
misquote the news.
Oh,
yeah,
Vegas
the
Morning Blend.
Yeah.
I was.
So, girl, what do you mean?
I
Like,
did do that.
they're listening. Like, what do you mean big things? Yeah, you were on the news, girl. Stop.
Yeah, you're right. It's so funny. I don't know if you met my friend Yamila, but it's so funny.
Yeah, we met at a crazy enough small little Vegas.
Yeah.
Once you start going to these networking events, you're gonna gradually meet so
Yeah,
many
girl.
people that we all connect with. But I met her at Atomic Golf.
Okay,
actually.
I think she did mention that because I think I told her I was going on the pod. She may have mentioned it, but she always be like, "Girl, you were on the news. You were," because I think when I'm in like the moment, like I don't know, I'm just doing it.
You're
like
just
I said,
doing
I'm
it.
just doing it. Like, I don't think I had ever had a goal to do that, but I loved the experience. I was so grateful for it.
Yeah.
And then in my head, I like, I'm like, okay, I got a work session to do today. I got some stuff to pitch. I got, but that's what I love about my friends, because they always remind me. But as far as like what's next, I got to keep myself on track, girl.
No, it's okay.
I feel like that is part of the upward growth that I mentioned, though. Like, that's not something that I was getting asked to do last year. But I was getting asked to do stuff, like some pretty cool things, but I think it just kind of gets like cooler, if that makes sense.
Of course,
like,
yeah.
And as I'm developing in real time, and like I don't know, I just really, the future for me is like embracing anything that God has for me, and I know in my heart, with the vision that I've had since I was little, that it's just gonna be big. It's just gonna be profound, and not maybe in other people's definition, but like for my definition of success and everything, and not necessarily a goal, but I'm living and embracing it and embodying it right now. If that makes sense. So yeah, immersing myself into the sound healing wellness out here, really making impact. Like, for me, like, yes, I love the music. Yes, I love the sound healing and the therapy and everything. But like, at the root of it is like, how am I being of service to others, or how am I being a vessel? I take that, like, for lack of better words, like responsibility, very like serious. I take that because I feel like I'm anointed to do it. I take that seriously. So
that's powerful.
Yeah.
No,
you look teary-eyed.
No, girl, I'm just sitting here like, wow, like, yeah, you know, we're right here because that's when you know you're here for more than just to be.
Yeah, yeah.
It's when you have things within you that it's like a tree. Like I said, I love to use this quote, but a tree never bears fruit for itself.
Yeah.
You know, so the things that are in you that you have been blessed to do, or, you know, your talent and whatever, it's not to be wasted. It's to embrace it, like you said earlier, and also to be of an impact to others. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why I'm over here like, girl, don't make me cry.
Oh, yeah. I love making people cry.
In the good way. I'm sure you mean it.
I forget that could be taken any
kind
of
way. Yeah, girl. People,
but I love
people
it. I love it. It shows me that I'm like really connecting and like I love people. Like, I know people be like, I don't like people. I'm antisocial. Yeah. Stop talking. I'm like, I love people. I love hearing people's stories. I love connecting with others. I love that. Like, I think that's my purpose, like connection. So, and I've found so many like dope ass ways. I don't know if I can cuss on here.
Oh yeah, girl.
I have a potty mouth, girl.
We unmuted.
You're right. I found so many dope ass ways to connect with people in ways that like feel good to me. So that's what's next. I have some really dope performances coming in April.
I got to come to one of those.
Yes, you do. Yeah. The weekly sound baths. I'm probably going to throw some free events as well for wellness. Mm-hmm. So vague, but like, yeah, just visit DaniiOfficial.com or the Danii Official on Instagram.
Make sure y'all listen.
Yeah, listen. And then towardthesun.org or toward the sun with 2 N's at the end on Insta, and you'll have all those updates.
Wow.
There's a lot coming.
A lot coming. I know, girl. And that's why I said it earlier. Everybody who's here right now, this is the time to plant the seed because the harvest is near. Okay.
Yeah. It really is.
You're doing it. I'm girl, like I am proud for real. Like, I mean, I love us too. And not no offense to anyone, but like, hey.
Okay. Ain't no offense. You better not take
offense. Yeah, no, right? I just love when
love.
you know what I mean? And we're doing it. Because I feel like we already have so many things that are almost like stacked against us in just our overall. But like once we take control, take accountability, and we're going forward, it's like nothing can stop us, you know. So I love that you have so many of these things coming up. Like you're on it, you're grinding, you're doing it. It's impactful. I can just imagine 25 going to 500 real soon. Like just a room of like, you know what I mean?
That's what the same thing I speak in everyone around me too, and in the most humble form, but you could just feel it.
Yeah. And once you feel it, I was just about to say, once you feel it, then that's how you know.
Yeah. And so like everything, all bets are off. Everything kind of got to go if it's not something specific. Yeah. But I want to give you your flowers because like
I get flowers?
Yeah, girl, you get flowers. I should have bought you some. But
you're too sweet.
I remember I think we met like probably like just once or twice.
Yeah.
And like I just
the first time at Kim.
Yeah. And I remember your energy just being super sweet, and like there was something about you that like stood out to me, even though we haven't got to like really sit down and have conversation. I see, you be thinking you know people on social media.
Yeah.
But I see you on social media, and when you started your podcast, I was like, you better go, girl. Like I'm literally like, you don't know who's rooting for you, like behind the scenes or people that you don't know. But I was like literally like, oh my gosh, I love that she started this. You're consistent in like your content, what you're doing, looking beautiful, doing
Thank you, girl.
Like you have like a silent supporter. I be like, yes, get it, girl. Every time I see you post something, get it, girl.
No, you're making my cheeks hurt because like you don't understand, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, we only see the outside.
We only and then people are not always willing to share that. And then sometimes you're thinking you're so defeated or nobody, you know what I mean? Not that I'm sitting up here saying you should wait for validation. But when you have supporters, because sometimes we all want that. We all need that to help one another. Like we're all going after whatever that desire is, whatever that inner purpose is. And I feel like it's just beautiful to hear. So I appreciate that. And thank you, girl.
And you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
And I always say like, God did not make one person. Like,
exactly.
People be like, I need to be alone or I can't. And yes, sometimes you need that. But like God made, and I quote the Bible. Of course, I'm not religious, but multiple brothers and sisters for counsel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Or the support.
We
so you
need
don't have to
that.
do it on. Exactly. So, and God knows that.
He does.
So, unless there would just be one Danii on earth.
I know.
Eating all the food, laying in
Girl,
all the
you would be so bored.
gardens.
I would be so
Yeah.
bored. Everybody be like, no, we need one
exactly.
another. Like, that's the whole
Exactly.
point of life.
Exactly.
So,
I think people have been caught up in like fear and hurt and what's in the media and stuff like that. But we do need each other. We do need connection. We do need love, and we deserve all of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. Wow.
Period.
Well, I will say meeting you the second time around, this time, obviously in a more intimate setting, we're chit chatting. I'm getting to learn, your story too, like where you are now, what you're trying to do, the impact you're going to make. Not trying.
Hey,
You're making,
it's
and
happening.
it's going to go bigger and better because that's all we do. We grow, we grow, we grow once we don't stop. So, I just, I appreciate you even coming on and, just supporting too, because I think sometimes you don't realize, but it is support, and I appreciate that. And, just sitting down with me and talking with me and telling the people about your story and where you are and what's going to happen next. So, I guess now you already gave them the websites, the stuff. I guess one of my questions I always have to ask is, how does it feel to be unmuted?
It feels amazing to be unmuted. I feel like I just feel the energy radiating in the room.
Ooh.
Like, it feels amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love that. No, I think we got a lot of value today. If anything, we know now is all about realizing that we're here for more than just to be. All our gifts, all the things that we have, it's to pour into others too, however you do that. And I think finding a creative way like you have, which is beautiful and not very like out there, right? A lot of people are not doing that. It's like the music is great, but now you're combining it. I just love it. I love that. It's just creative and it's beautiful. So yeah, that's it, guys. Episode 6 with Danii is officially coming to an end. Yes, episode 6, girl. By the way, let me give y'all this little nugget. I'm actually doing 7 episodes per season. So yeah, we're gonna have our last one next week. But yeah, I'm going to sit here and keep chatting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. So listen, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Let me go ahead and put it here. Yeah, it was beautiful and amazing having you, getting that one-on-one learning and, about you more and your energy and feeling all that. And I'm just excited to see what the future holds. So continue being great and beautiful and boundaries settings.
Oh, big B's.
Big B's. All right, guys, that's the end of Vegas Unmuted. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.